Let's see if somehow another meeting started. Don't know why on my account. Sorry about that, friends.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what happened. Sorry about that.
I thought
What?
I thought God interrupted the meeting.
God interrupted the meeting, yeah. That's funny. Okay. Sorry about that, and Karen S. hopefully will come back. Anita, go ahead.
Back to the not asking for anything on Shabbat. I've heard that many times, and then we say, grant us peace, your most precious gift. And I always think, isn't that asking for something?
Yeah, kind of. But that prayer is actually categorized by the sages as gratitude. As
Really?
opposed to petition.
How is it gratitude?
Yeah, I don't know. they say that's what it is, and
you can celebrate Shabbat.
you know because what they did is they say bakasha, petition, is not permitted on Shabbat, and they removed out the section of the Amidah that has the petitionary prayers, but the prayer for peace comes in a different part at the end of the Amidah, which they classify as the gratitude prayers as opposed to petitionary ones. And
Rabbi,
we did. And peace is included. The prayer for peace is included in every liturgy, no matter what. But the prayers for in the themes in the daily minyan that we see, if you participate in the daily minyan, you see the words, knowledge and teshuvah and redemption and forgiveness and all that series of 13. Those are considered to be the petitionary prayers, and they're taken out on Shabbat.
Rabbi.
Yes, Arlene, go ahead.
Yes, but I think that prayer for peace I don't view it as a petitionary prayer because it's more back to the communal thing. It's not give me personally nicer weather or good health or those kinds of things. It's more give the world peace. So
okay.
I don't view it as so much as a petitionary prayer.
Yeah, when we get there, maybe we can look at it. I don't know the answer. It's a good question as to why the sages don't count it as a petitionary one. I'm not familiar with texts that give explanation of that, but we can look at it. And Arlene's reason is as good as any. Okay. So we have 5 more minutes. I just want to continue on a little bit in our text sheet. Hold on, let me share it again. And we're just going to continue with this text next time because these give us the foundational philosophical framework for prayer. All right, so I want to start here under this section, the mitzvah of prayer, calling home. So Maimonides, in Hilchot Tefillah, the laws of prayer, in his book Mishnah Torah, he begins by saying, it is a positive Torah commandment to pray every day. As Exodus states, you shall serve Adonai your God. Tradition teaches us that this service is prayer. As Deuteronomy 11 states, serve God with all your heart. And our sages said, what is the service of the heart? This is prayer. Okay, so there's a couple of important things that I want to establish here that this text teaches us. One, prayer is a mitzvah. Okay, mitzvah we know does not mean good deed, although although many mitzvot are good deeds conventionally, like for others giving tzedakah and so forth to help the poor. But what does the word mitzvah mean? Commandment, or religious duty, or religious obligation, or what? Okay, so prayer is a mitzvah And Maimonides teaches us that daily prayer is a mitzvah. Now, in halakha, do you know how many times daily are we commanded to pray?
3 times.
3 times daily. What are the 3 times? Morning, afternoon, and evening. And I heard Lee knows the names in Hebrew for that, which is good for you to know.
Shacharit.
Yes. Yes. The morning prayer is called shacharit. The afternoon prayer is called mincha. And the evening prayer is called ma'ariv. Okay? Shacharit, mincha, and ma'ariv. Now, we get these 3. They cause a little bit of a trick question. They come from something else. Where do we get the 3 from?
Examples in Torah?
Examples in Torah. Okay, good. What are the examples in Torah? Wait, let's say with Dorothy. Do you know Dorothy?
I don't know the first one. I know the second one has to do with Isaac and it being in the afternoon. Something
Okay,
happened.
good. Yeah. So
Patriarchs.
so Dorothy, okay, right. So there is a midrash that says the 3 patriarchs. How do we know that we're supposed to pray? Because the 3 patriarchs prayed: Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So, and I don't know the verses off the top of my head, and I don't know the citation of the midrash, so I'd have to search for it. I believe that it's Abraham prayed in the morning. Oh, yes. There's a verse that says that Abraham got up early in the morning and went to God or something. Okay, so the sages learned from that Abraham prayed in the morning. Isaac prayed in the afternoon because it says Isaac went to the field in the afternoon and something. As the light was dimming. Good, Vicky knows. Okay, so Isaac prayed in the afternoon, and then Jacob prayed in the evening. And there's some verse that tells us that. So that midrash tells us, this is the sage's interpretation of the 3 that we learned from the patriarchs to pray at those times of day. There's something else.
I was going to say, is Jacob, when he's running from Esau, and he sees the ladder.
The ladder,
and
yeah.
he sets up the stone.
Okay, good. Yes, in the
So that should be
evening.
the
Okay, so that's we learned from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob about the times of prayer. There's something else that's also really important to the philosophy of prayer as an institution that's tied to the Torah. Courtney.
Pardon my ignorance, but does it have to do anything with the light, like the sun rising, being in the middle, closer to God, and then it's declining where at peace in the evening?
That's good. That's a nice interpretation. I'm not familiar of sources that tie it to that.
Kind of silly, but.
It's beautiful. That's good. That's good interpretation. But the other thing, it has to do with the sacrifices made in the temple. When the temple stood, okay, and we worship God by making sacrifices of animals and food. That was done in the morning and the afternoon, not in the evening. Okay, but the evening prayer we learned from the patriarchs thing in Midrash, and so that we'll finish up today with this. And this is interesting to know, I think important to know, that in halakha, the morning prayer and the afternoon prayer are mandatory prayers. That's called chayav. You're obligated to do them. The evening prayer is an optional prayer. Although, because there was no sacrifice in the temple in the evening, but the force of tradition, the sages say it's basically mandatory because that's what we do, and Jacob did it and whatnot. But technically, the evening prayer is in Hebrew is reshut, that means optional, and the morning and the afternoon prayer are chayav, obligatory prayers. But in this way, prayer corresponds to the sacrifices in the temple. And that's really important for us to know as we build out a philosophy of prayer. What are we doing when we pray? The sages here say that prayer is the service of the heart. The Hebrew is avodah shebalev. Avodah is service, but that also means the sacrifice. The avodah service in the Torah is the sacrificing of animals and things on the altar. And when we don't do that anymore after the temple is destroyed, the sages created a new practice, which is the service of the heart, the sacrifice of the heart. That is prayer. Okay, so we're going to end it here. We'll pick up next week with this concept, because as we move through these other texts, we'll see how sacrifice factors into the philosophy of prayer. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed today, and I'll see you next Thursday morning.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Rabbi, have a good day.
Have a great day, everybody.
You too. Thank
You.
Take care, everybody. This was wonderful.
Everybody, last night at Gold Coast Cinema, they had a phenomenal movie. You may want to see Mordecai. It was about, it's a true story, the filmmaker was there, about a man whose parents were Holocaust survivors. And it was very, very funny. Actually, it wasn't sad, it was a funny movie. Next week, they have Sephardic Jews, a movie about that. It's called Karaoke. If anybody's interested, I think they still have a few tickets left. It's in Manhasset. So they have like a Jewish film festival.
Thanks, Linda.
Thank you.
All right, bye, everyone online.
Thank you.
Bye.